Okay, here we go. We're gonna mix our A and B solution clear coat. Usually I want to use a painter's pail for this. It has the markings on it, but I'm using a normal cup right now, and I have a ruler, and I'm just going to measure a 50-50 solution. So that's one part. The other part. So I'm going to measure the solution, how much I have in there. Okay. Got about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to pour 1.5. All right. So normally I would use chopsticks or something else I can throw away. I'm going to use a ruler to mix it. And this ruler will now be safe to go underwater after this mixing, after the 2-part epoxy hardens. So you want to mix for at least a minute. I think the instructions say 3 minutes. So yes, let's mix for 3 minutes. When you mix, you actually are starting to incorporate some air bubbles, and you don't want to incorporate too many air bubbles. So you go mix and mix and mix. And at about 3 minutes, the thing's going to start getting really, really hot. And you have maybe about 5 minutes before it hardens. It won't be totally hardened at that 5 minutes. It'll take maybe about 24 hours to get not tacky. It'll be very sticky for a full day, but it'll harden pretty quickly and you won't be able to use it. So think of everything that you're using with this is going to have the clear coat on it. So I have a paintbrush right here. So after using it, the paintbrush will be done for. You will not be able to use it. So use items that you don't mind losing. So I'm going to take this coral that I painted. Now the paint was non-toxic, but I want to clear coat it so that if fish bite it, they won't tear the paint off. Also, it allows me to scrub it really, really easily and really aggressively so that I don't lose any of the paint. So for this one, this little one, I'm just going to dip it in and get it fully immersed in clear coat. Now this coral, you'll see, I'll put it in a corner. I went and looked at what this coral could look like in the wild. So I found a representative that had like that bluish green tone, and I found one that had yellow around the oral. This was actually a tunicate. I think this coral is supposed to be a sponge, but it was actually a tunicate. So I'm going to release this. I'm going to try to make sure all the pieces are covered. I may dip my brush in, kind of get some of those other pieces. See these little holes here, maybe they didn't get fully immersed. So I'm going to put a little bit of clear coat in there and just make sure everything gets covered. And then always put it on something plastic, and it won't stick to the plastic. A really thick trash bag is always best. Now this coral, I actually use spray paint on it. This is a brain coral, pretty colorful. Now when you do the color, you don't want to go fake. Don't go fake. Always represent some other coral. But you do want to go bright. Always think of like theater makeup, how it's one step a little too bright. So you always want to go bright. But you also have to think about your exhibit. So if your exhibit is really, really tiny, don't go really bright and don't go very crazy in your color. If it's really big, go that one step brighter. Go a little bit brighter than you think is okay. The color will kind of get subdued over the months to years that it's in your tank, and also a little bit of algae will go over it. But just don't go fake, like a coral or something you've never seen before. Always try to represent this. This coral is pretty crazy in color, but it represents a coral in Australia called an acan. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of pushing that clear coat down. The weight of the clear coat will fill most of the little cracks and crevices, but I'm pushing it down. You're going to lose some of the texture You see it's kind of glazed over, but that's okay. It's going to be really easy to scrub once it dries. So I'm getting the bottom end as well, just in case, keep it safe. And that's good. And then this one has a little holder, so we're going to put it right on the holder. And the holder has a plastic coating. It's actually some kind of candy. And we're going to let that dry overnight. And so yeah, I may put a little more on it, just make sure, because the clear coat kind of falls down. When this dries, if you can see, there's some clear coat surrounding this coral. You can just chip that off with your hands. Sometimes I'll take it to a belt sander and sand it off, make it really nice. But yeah, that's it. And make sure you always use the right amount of clear coat. I have a little extra, so I'm going to run around and try to look for something else to paint really quick. But yeah, you can make your corals safe and color them up really nice. That's it.